Welcome to Girl Talk. We have an excellent episode for you today. We are very excited about some of our guests. First of all, how are you guys doing?
Great.
I'm pretty excited for spring.
Yeah.
In fact, I have something for all of you. If you look around your chair, I have a little something to spring us forward into spring.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Janet.
Oh, I just dumped my.
You're so thoughtful.
Thank you
So cute.
Now notice these are not just any daisies. These are the Girl Talk daisies. Right?
Yes,
Our little
absolutely.
What do you?
Thank you.
How do you say that?
Yeah,
Gerbera?
Gerbera daisies.
Oh,
yeah, very sweet.
We need it, right?
So badly. Oh my gosh, is anyone else sick of the frigid weather?
Who's not?
I mean, I know it's such a cliche topic this time of year because everyone talks weather in Wisconsin in this time of year because we're all so sick of it, but truly, I mean, could we get some sunshine and some relief, please?
We're getting closer.
Yeah, that's true.
And actually one of our guests kind of ties in with this because with spring coming, we think weddings and graduation and babies. Which, what do they all have in common?
Photos.
Lots of photos.
So that'll be great. Yeah. So Chelsea Orvick, well, we are all familiar with her because she was recommended to me by somebody who was incredibly happy with their photos for their newborn, and so she took all of our photos, and she was just fun to work with.
She did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And I mentioned to her efficient earlier. Like it was fast and it seemed easy, and she had ideas and told us where to go and directed us. And
where to stand,
I like
which
that.
angles, all that.
I need that too.
A little help, yeah.
Absolutely.
I looked at her Facebook page, and I only meant to just kind of see what she was about and look at some of her stuff, and I just couldn't stop. I just kept going and looking at all of the pictures that she's taken, and one after another, I had a smile on my face. She does a lot of kids and babies and couples, and they're all so good.
She's very talented.
It's outdoor stuff, and I think that's what I like so much.
Yeah.
It's not a studio kind of setting.
And she'll do studio, but it's just so nice to be able to do natural light, so that's exciting. And I have to mention, because it's really, I think it's just hilarious, we're talking senior portraits with her later in the show, and Janet was discussing with us before we got started that she assumed we were talking seniors as in senior citizens. So how great is that,
Is
Janet?
the camera rolling?
Your mind went. The senior citizen portrait. The classic senior citizen portrait.
Right.
That's awesome. Not that she wouldn't do that.
No, I'm sure.
But it's not as traditional as the seniors. Yes, no, that's funny. That's hilarious, Janet. That's very cute.
Well, I'm here for the comic relief.
Comic
as
relief.
you like to
That's
say.
right. Yes, we need a comic relief person in every episode. But we're going to talk technology with our favorite doctor, Miss Dr. Surgeon from Excellence in Dentistry, our favorite dentist.
Yeah, that's cool stuff.
She's great, and she's so fun to talk to. And
So crazy. I mean, lasers is everywhere now. I have no idea that we're using that in dentistry now too.
exactly, and they're just making it easier and easier on the patient. So we'll learn more about
which
that.
is very helpful because it kind of takes away the pain of going to the dentist.
Yes, it does.
Boy, one day the drill will just be a thing of the past. You know?
Sounds nice.
It
Sounds
so.
good.
And we'll look back and we'll go, oh, how barbaric.
Oh, yeah, remember back in the day, our kids will be saying, our parents, we'll be telling them the stories, right? Right after we go and go both ways
photos
to the dentist. But we also get to talk to one of our favorite guests, Joe Conant from Conant Automotive. And we always have the silliest car care questions for him, but he doesn't make us feel silly, does
No.
he? He's good.
But I think if they're questions that everybody has.
Yeah.
That's what we're going with, at least, right?
That's right.
Nobody wants to call and ask.
That's exactly.
After my year with my vehicle last year, I just bought a new one, so I'm good for a while.
Don't you love that feeling? I
Yeah.
love that feeling of, I'm good for a while.
And
Yeah.
the new car smell. Can't live without it.
Right.
But Joe will get you fixed up if you need. We'll talk to him a little bit later. As promised, we'll talk to Chelsea Orvick from Chelsea Orvick Photography after the break, all here on Girl Talk.
Hi, and welcome back to Girl Talk. We're here with Chelsea Orvick of Chelsea Orvick Photography. Chelsea has taken some headshots of us earlier this year, and I was so impressed with how efficient and wonderful your photos were.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for being here. It's nice to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So tell us a little bit about your business and how it all works.
I am a natural light photographer here in the Madison area. I shoot a lot of babies and kids and families, senior photography, as well as engagements and weddings.
Sure, so you kind of do it all.
Yes, yes.
Excellent.
Jack of all trades, right?
Just no pets.
I have done some pets, yes. Those are always interesting.
I'm sure, yeah. Well, we had a lot of fun shooting with you. You brought a lot of energy and different ideas that we probably wouldn't have thought of. I know I wouldn't have.
I liked that.
Yeah,
A little
I
bit
did
of
too.
help to move this way or that way.
Yes,
Yeah.
coming from some experience. But in looking at your photos, you just have so many fun, some beautiful, some very cute photos. And I can't imagine how you would choose this, but do you have a favorite kind of session that you do?
Yes, I like to do senior photography. I think I have, we have a bunch of teenage girls at home, so I think I relate to the seniors a little bit more, help them feel a little bit more comfortable with taking pictures, because a lot of times people get a little scared when they have a camera in their face. So it is fun to get them out of their shell a little bit and to have them relax and get some good pictures. And I like hearing the feedback too when they love their pictures and are excited to put them in the yearbook, when typically kids are not excited about putting their pictures in the yearbook.
School photos up to this have been awful.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, absolutely. And that's probably a big part of your job, is just making people feel comfortable so that they look more natural. And I remember that was a lot of your feedback for us, is like, just try and look more natural. And it came across really well when we were able to kind of relax. And you don't always realize we're not relaxed, right?
Right, yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah.
And I just lost an earring.
Oh, no.
So back to the senior pictures. Boy, senior pictures have come a long way. When I was looking at your pictures, I was just really impressed with how fun they are, how natural they are. Everyone looks like a glamour girl. It's really, really neat. What comes with a senior portrait package or
Typically I do an hour or an hour and a half long session with the senior. The girls tend to be the hour and a half long session, because there's a lot of different outfit changes. Yeah, it has come a long way. No longer do many of them want to do them indoors in a studio, so they like to do them outside, and lots of outfit changes. So we do an hour and a half. Typically in that time they can do 2 locations, unless we go somewhere downtown Madison or some prairie or something where we can get a lot of places quickly. But I take a lot of photos and then pick the top 25 to 40 pictures, which are airbrushed and fixed up for everybody, and they are typically happy with the outcome.
Absolutely. When I was looking at the photos that you had on your Facebook page, they just all look so great.
Oh, thank you.
All of them, not just the senior girls, but the babies, the families, the couples. The couples were really, I liked those. Those were real special.
And the airbrushing is great.
I love the airbrush.
It's like the icing on top of the cake.
Well, especially for seniors, because we all go through that awkward kind of skin stage, don't we? So you mentioned that you take a lot of them outside. Do you have some favorite places in Madison to go, or?
I do. Downtown Madison offers a lot of different backgrounds that you can use. State Street is one where you can get the different color bricks and buildings and whatnot in the background. Doors and doorways are fun, stopping in the little coffee shops.
Lots of neat architecture, I'm sure.
Right, yeah, I love getting the Capitol in the background. There's a couple parks out on the east side of Madison that I shoot at a lot. The Pope Farm is a good one too, with the sunflower fields.
That's gorgeous. I
Yes.
love that backdrop.
Yes, that's really fun. And anywhere where you can get, depending on time of the day, good lighting. I like to shoot natural light. I don't use a lot of flash. So getting the sunset and whatnot in the background is really cool.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Our time went too fast. We'll have to have you back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Stay tuned for more Girl Talk. We'll be back with Dr. Amy Sturgeon with Excellence in Dentistry. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. Well, good news for people that dread going to the dentist. We have Amy Sturgeon with us. Thanks for coming in today, Amy.
Thanks for having me.
Amy's with Excellence for Dentistry, and actually it's Excellence in Dentistry.
Yep.
And we're talking technology today, advances in technology. So what is going on? What's the cool new stuff that makes the dental visit not so terribly scary?
Well, there's definitely some really cool stuff out there. I think one thing that most people may know about, at least people that I know about, is called a CEREC machine that makes crowns chairside. So that's really cool. I'll tell you more about that.
Okay.
And then the other thing is digital x-rays and lasers in dentistry.
I like the digital x-ray sound. I hate getting those things in my mouth that...
You'll still have to get little things in your mouth. Oh, no! But it is quick.
Okay.
But you still have to have the little tabs. But,
Oh.
And then we have intraoral cameras which help show us or show patients the inside of their mouth, kind of how we see it.
A close-up.
Yep, very
Extreme
close-up.
close-up.
Yep, which is not always fun for people, but it's helpful.
This is interesting. So the technology keeps advancing, which
Yep.
of course is much better for patients.
Yep, it is.
So there's a machine now that actually makes crowns. So that has to make your life easier, and then the patients as well. How does that work?
So it's called the CEREC machine, which I referred to earlier, and it's some people may have heard of CAD/CAM technology, and that's what it is. It's computer-aided design, computer-aided manufacturing. Wow. So it uses that technology to basically create a crown while a patient is still in the office. Wow. So you may have some of you may have had a crown before where you have to come back in 2 weeks. Well, this is great for a patient. The machine is chairside, and we utilize a special camera to take photos of the prepared tooth.
Wow.
Yeah.
2015.
Right,
Isn't
right.
it great? That's wonderful.
It's great, yeah.
Everything's
Same
so
day
instant.
procedure now.
Yep.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
So, are there differences, or is the crown made of the same material as a traditional crown then, or is that different too?
Good question. So crowns can be made of basically 3 different materials. One would be an all gold material, which is beautiful, nice, long-lasting. And then there's a porcelain fused to metal. And then there's an all porcelain crown. So I would say more commonly these days we're doing all porcelain crowns. People want the aesthetics of all porcelain, and they're a very solid material, so we can use all porcelain in many areas of the mouth. So that's what the CEREC crowns are made of, is all porcelain. So they're very aesthetic, and they're very long lasting as well.
So no matter what face you're making, you can see it's
beautiful,
seamless.
white.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yep.
So it sounds like this technology not only helps the patient, but it probably helps you too.
It does. It
And
does.
What are some of the other advantages of this machine you're talking about?
Well, I think the biggest advantage that I did refer to is the patient having to spend less time in the dental chair. So they don't have to come back in 2 weeks, and they don't have to worry about wearing a temporary crown, which for some people can be a nuisance or it can come off. So it's really nice to be able to cement that crown on the same day.
How convenient.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's very nice. And for us, I guess the same thing. It saves us time. We can get the procedure done at once, cement the crown on. So it's great, and the product is excellent. So
And you look like the hero.
right, it works great. Yes, exactly.
No wonder. Now we're figuring it all out.
Yes.
But you mentioned I want to kind of go back to lasers because I'm curious about this because lasers are being utilized in a lot of different fields now. So lasers in dentistry, kind of tell us a little bit, what do you use them for?
Many different things. One of the, I think, most exciting things is called periolace.
Okay.
And periolace is laser-assisted new attachment procedure. So it's used to treat periodontal disease.
Okay.
So I'm going to table that for now because we're going to talk about that at a future meeting.
We'll have you back.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yes,
but that's a
about
very
lasers.
exciting advancement. And then lasers can be used on gum tissue. They can be used for wound healing. They can be used to clean out the sulcus during a periodontal cleaning. So many different things. We actually use lasers to treat cold sores and canker sores.
Wow. It's fascinating how the technology that you offer just totally changes the scope of dental work and just the experience for the patient. I mean, it's
the quality of everything, the care and just the visit and the experience itself.
Right.
It is
Real
nice.
quick, could you tell us what the benefits are of using the laser versus traditional methods?
So a laser tends to be a great way to provide a service with very little discomfort.
Okay.
So the typical things that you would think of, I hate to use this word, but like cutting, surgery, that healing time is a little more than when you provide the service with a laser.
Well, we'll have to get you back and talk more about the laser. That sounds very intriguing. Thanks for coming in. Amy, where can folks find you?
Excellence in Dentistry in Madison and Cottage Grove.
Very good. We'll be right back with Conant Automotive with our car questions. Last but not least is our favorite go-to guy for our car questions. This is Joe Conant from Conant Automotive out in Stoughton. Thanks for joining us, Joe.
Thank you.
We have car questions. I know I've had a burning car question. I kind of hope my dad's not watching. I keep getting my check engine light, no kidding. And the most recent, it goes on and it goes off, and that's the hard part. And so the other day, it went on, and I thought, okay, I'm going to take care of this thing once and for all, and I made the appointment. And I'm quite literal here. I got in my car and pulled out of the driveway, and it went off.
Okay.
And I've been told that you can't even diagnose it if it goes off. So talk to us about the check engine light.
Yes.
Okay, the biggest thing with a check engine light on is it happens when you're coming home from work at 5 o'clock at night. And it can be frustrating because you don't know what's going on. You don't know if you're going to make it home. You don't know if it's going to start the next morning.
Or if you should drive or stop or...
So a lot of shops, and especially what we do, is like if a customer calls up and my check engine light's on, we'll say, come on down. We'll scan it to see the severity of the code because that's what's stored in the computer of the vehicle. And what we'd use is a tool like this, which is like a $50 code reader. And a lot of like parts stores will do this, offer this, like come and read, we'll read the codes for free. This is not a diagnostic tool, and a lot of people think that it is, so they'll think they'll be able to fix their car with this, or the parts store is going to be able to sell them a sensor or whatnot. This will tell you how bad the code is and if you can drive the car. So then you can set up the appointment. So then we would note the code, and then you can be on your way, set up the appointment for a day or two later. And then when you come in, we would use, everything is going laptop. Let me turn it around. Whereas old days, which I should say, the last 20 years, you would get a big red box that would be a scanner, they would call it. Well, nowadays everything is being software where we buy the software from the OE manufacturers and put it on the laptop. So we can touch basically 90% coverage out there. And that's how you diagnose a check engine light.
Are you talking coverage of the vehicle or like different makes and models?
Coverage of the car line, like General Motors, Ford, Chrysler,
Okay.
European, the Asian. I mean, we can take care of all of them. And most shops can.
So in my situation where the light went off, can you still do it?
Because the computer still has that stored in the system.
Oh, really?
Like you could drive the biggest mistake people make is let the check engine light go. And the
We all look at each other, guilty.
the thing is you got one little light bulb that tells you, the computer, that it's sensitive a fault, that, okay, the computer can store maybe 350 different codes. So when that light comes on, let's say it's just a real simple thing like a gas cap's faulty. Okay, you'll let that go. I don't have time to fix it. Well, 2 months later, that light's still on. You're thinking that it's a gas cap. Well, then it's this problem. And another week later, it's this
You don't
problem.
even realize that's something else.
So that instead of being a $50 repair, the first time to get that light off, you come in a year later, and it's a $600 repair.
Right, because you think it's that first small incident.
Right.
Wow.
So that's very important. That light should never be on. It should always be off. Even though somebody read it with a code reader or whatever, a scanner, and oh, we'll put that off. Well, tomorrow, you know, we're going to fix it tomorrow. Well, tomorrow never comes, and then I run into that a lot, and it's not nice to give a customer an estimate for $600, $700, $800.
No, it's not nice at all.
No, always have that light off.
So the on-off doesn't mean we're in the clear when it's off.
No.
Right.
No.
And the thing is, when that light comes on, it could be something real simple, like I said, a gas cap, or it could be something more severe. The biggest thing is when the check engine light flashes, that means something needs to be fixed immediately.
Okay, flashing.
And that means that something expensive could fail if you continue driving with it flashing.
Are you listening?
Yeah, certainly
That's
am,
the
yeah.
biggest thing.
Absolutely.
But the majority of shops out there, if you call them up and say, yep, my check engine light's on, a lot of shops should say, yep, come right in, we'll read the code quick, note it down, and then we can schedule you in. That's the best way to do it. That way, you know what's going on. Instead of sleeping, you know, going to bed at night wondering what's wrong with your car, you
Right.
can have a little peace of mind, and that's the important thing.
And let's talk a little bit about the scheduling process. So when we call to tell you something's wrong with our vehicle, what kinds of information do you want when we're calling to make an appointment? What does that look like for you?
We like it. I'm glad you asked that. We like it when people call up and say, okay, my car is doing this. It happens at this time when I'm turning or when I'm driving. It's making this noise and so on. It's so nice when people, and I'll say females, call up and say that. And then it's so much easier to work with.
Because we don't know what's wrong.
Well,
we just
a lot
know
of people don't.
what
Well, my
noise it
boyfriend
makes.
said it was this, and my dad said it was this, and you don't want any
And
of that.
sometimes they can be right, but a lot of times people will go on the computer and Google search, and that's when it really gets crazy, because then they're making all these assumptions, either what it's going to take to fix it. And a lot of the males that call up will tell you what's wrong with the car
Instead of
or
the
the truck or
symptoms.
whatever. And for instance, and I hope I don't make this customer mad at me because it's kind of funny. The customer called up and said, how much for the exhaust system on my truck? Well, okay, instead of, if the way the scenario should have went, Joe, my truck is making a lot of noise. I think it's from the muffler or whatever. Can I get in and have you guys give me an estimate? Sure, no problem. No, it went to, how much for my exhaust system on my truck? Well, then I shot him a number. Well, it's going to cost you probably about $1,500 to $2,000. And he went silent, and I said to him, well, we're looking at exhaust manifolds, we're looking at catalytic converter, we're looking at, you said exhaust system. And I was being kind of smart, but I guess that's my personality, and yeah, he's coming in and we're going to inspect his exhaust, and it's probably going to be a quarter of that. So.
So you're one. Well, and I would actually appreciate an overestimate versus an under. So that's nice. But you're wanting the symptoms of what's happening with your vehicle,
And let you do the diagnosing.
and let you let the expert do the work.
Well, we'll have to bring you back because I know we always have more questions.
Thanks,
I
guys.
know, we didn't even get to mine.
We're
Sorry.
out of time. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Joe Conant from Conant Automotive in Stoughton. And that's it for today. Thanks to all of our guests. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Girl Talk.